Michael, good to see you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for being here with us.
I find it so interesting, right? Because everyone's kind of on the same equal playing field for a season one, right? Because no one's seen these
hmm
characters before, and like we're starting fresh. And then season two is like the world's different, right? Because it's like we've seen
Yeah,
these characters for one season. So, what was that like for you, kind of returning for season two specifically, seeing everything after season one?
absolutely. Well, we had our own like crazy plot twist season one
Yeah.
because Kaley Cuoco, who plays Ava, right before we started shooting, said, "Hey guys, just a quick thing. I'm pregnant. Can you just make a little change here?" And we laughed our heads off. We thought, not only is that so Kaley to say like that, but also that's actually great for the character because even more unexpected in what she's going to do, etc. So season two was they have a baby, and how do we start this? But also, we now have more time with the characters. Season one was here is an insane idea, and can we watch them pull it off or not? And then season two, now that the audience knows that crazy premise and has come on board with us, now we get to spend time with the characters and what are they going to do now? And unmasking everybody. Who are they? Who do they want to be? Who are they really? And especially at that center of Chris and Kaley, who also like they're kind of our characters and
Yeah.
like us, but a lot funnier, and who now have a child. And what is that going to mean? And none of us involved with this like to be boring. So I think we wanted if we could be surprised and we could be entertained, that was the goal, so that the audience would come back and say, this really feels like season two, not just, oh yeah, like an addendum to season one.
There's been this big kind of surge in popularity and interest in the world of true crime with the
Yeah.
podcasts and the documentaries. I'm wondering, being kind of on the creative side of things, is
Yeah,
it more fun or is there more pressure to kind of work on something in the true crime world, knowing that there is like a lot of eyes on it, so to speak?
for sure. I think what I really love about the show is that it gets to like touch our obsession with true crime
Yeah.
because again, there's so many good shows that are being made about true crime or the psychology of true crime. But what we thought was really ripe for our own characters' interaction with true crime itself, like being obsessed with it, wanting to be in the middle of it. A character like Ava who's trying to take a break from true crime, but she cannot. She is addicted. She loves that community. She wants to be connected to it. It really is a community. And then also being able to look and say, wait, this feels crazy, but not because you actually get to kind of figure out who you are in relationship to this as well and do that detective work and figure it out and who is who they think they are and who isn't, etc. So
Yeah.
that for us was the fun rather than getting into the dark narrative of a killer,
Yeah.
more about the our obsession and why that is our entertainment and community and why are we so taken with it.
Absolutely. You know where I'm going with though, right? There's been a big like popularity in it too, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, there really is. And I think it keeps like, it's so interesting thinking about all these recent shows and podcasts about
Yeah.
it. And they're all exploring different angles of it, don't
Yes,
you
this is
think?
very unique for true crime, and I love every minute of this. I'm also like very like it's one of those like lean in shows because you're kind of like you're trying. I
hmm
feel like you're very happy to hear that right now because like that's the point, right? You wanted to be engaged. Do you think about the active audience member versus the passive audience member? Because I find that interesting. You want to make a show that
Yeah.
people can come home from a tough day at work, get a pizza, have their phone and watch, but you also want to dial in too. Do you ever think about that? Because I find that very interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah, for sure. I think about it more like Chris Messina's character and
Yeah.
Kaylee's character. I as a viewer, I'm the best person to tell a crazy story to. I'm trusting. I'm a believer. I'm so gullible. My wife will say, "Wait, you believe?" I'm like, "Yeah, true, right?" And so I go for it. So I love a story where everything I think turns out to be different, right?
Yeah.
Like, and in a way, that to me is like true crime. Like we think it's this, and then wait, it's this. Like, who's a reliable narrator? Who's an unreliable narrator? And adding comedy to that, my favorite, that to me is that makes you active from the start. So maybe I don't know that I think about it as active and passive, but I like being in it as opposed to being outside and observing. Like, even when we talk about, we want to do something about our obsession with true crime, I think if we literally did that, I would be bored to death. But I like being in the middle of it, like, wait a minute, why are we fascinated? And I think it's like wild and strange and kind of funny. And that's hopefully what our show does too.
Yeah, and I can't wait for people to see Based on True Story Season 2 on Peacock. So great chatting with you, Michael. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much. It was really cool. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.